Good evening, everyone. This is Austin. It's just about 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I am just stirred up, and I wanted to come at you as much as I can to lend support, maybe some perspective. There's lots of things going on, and this is a great time for growth. And let me get to that point, because you might be feeling fear, uncertainty, doubt, and it's very easy to get sucked up into this whirlwind of noise and to lose your way, lose your focus, be caught up in distraction nation. And the noise is louder and pressing more than ever right now. And it's just interesting times that we're in. And so if you don't get anything, I'm going to go through some great information tonight, but my message is for everyone just to be an activist in their own life. And being an activist in your own life means going to the right resources to form your own opinion and to grow and elevate yourself and your family. There's so many things that are going to be coming out, and the truth will come out. Between the overly extreme and the unconsciously complacent lies the truth. Between the overly extreme and the unconsciously complacent lies the truth. But what if it seems like everything's burning right now? Is fire not a metaphor right now? The cities are burning. You hear this. You've seen it. The cities are burning. So I wanted to come at you with some very valuable information, and I want to draw a very powerful metaphor for you, and I want you to get something tonight. Fair enough? Make a commitment that you're going to get something right now. Fire. Cities are burning. I want to point you to the best lesson we can learn is from fire itself. The best lesson we can learn is from fire itself. Recently, we heard, forest fires destroying forests and some burning out of control, which happens. But let me share with you what happens in a forest fire. There's some things that happen that you may not know, because when a fire is raging, even when you see it on TV, you see it on the news, it rages, it burns, it destroys. It's destruction in our face. We can see it. We can look and we can see fire. We can see destruction. And it could create some fear, uncertainty, and doubt. But there's another side of it. Let's study fire itself. When fire burns through a forest and seems to decimate everything, there's something else that's actually happening. If you see, a forest fire actually does a tremendous amount of good. Although there is destruction, I want to be really clear. When a forest fire burns, there's destruction. But the benefit on the other side is something that you don't hear about, because the fire is so demanding. It's so powerful. It's so forceful. And so let's talk about a forest fire and how it's even relevant right now. When a forest fire burns, it's burning all the dead undergrowth. It's clearing it out of the way, and it actually grabs nutrients from that, goes into the soil. When a fire rages high and burns, it actually clears the canopy so that sunlight can get through to certain areas to allow new growth. When a forest fire burns, it clears away the clutter, again, fostering new growth. So in the midst of what looks like destruction, there's an ecosystem that's happening. And there's something beautiful on the other side. And what you may not know is that if you've ever looked at the redwoods out in the United States, in the northwest part of the United States, There's redwood trees, and some of these trees are 2,000 years old. Not all of them. There's a few of them that are 2,000 years old. I want you to grab this tonight. I want you to grow. I want you to break through. I want you to look at the fire, and I want you to understand that new growth is happening, but it must happen in you. It must happen in me. So when the fire rages in the redwoods, it creates a process so that new saplings can grow. And I'm going to read this to you. And I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to read something that will move you tonight. And I'm just looking for it, but I'm going to read it. But the redwoods, it makes way for new growth. But when you hear about a forest fire, you don't hear about this. All you know is about the forest fire. And in the middle of our hi, Nicole. So Nicole, I just want you to, and I'm going to talk about this too. I'm going to talk about some ways you can get certainty. And I'm going to talk about something special that we're going to do on June 17th. We're going to run a 24-hour live stream with me and my team, and we're going to reach out to the community, and we want to be here for you because, listen, love is always more powerful than hate and fear. We just may not see it. There's a lot of incredible people out there right now who are strong, who are ready to love, but there's just there's a few bad things going on right now. And I say a few. Jim Rohn said there's a few bad people out there. They just move around a lot quicker than the good people. And sometimes I believe that's true. But this fire that's spiking, and we can look on the news, we can see the fire. I want you to see the fire, and I want you to realize that there's something beautiful coming. And I'm not here telling you it's going to happen overnight. What I want you to do is be an activist in your own life. And I want you to shift your focus to building your own life, become self-reliant, to be as unflappable as you can, to be an example, to be a light, to be the sunlight after the fire burns the canopy open. Because that's what's happening right now. Things are being busted wide open, and it's messy, and it's scary, and there's a pandemic, there's riots. It's the perfect storm. But even as the storm goes through, beauty will follow. And it may show up in an unexpected way, in an unexpected place, by an unexpected people. But we have the choice. We always have the choice about how we're going to show up. And I would never say to anyone, fearless is a mirage. All fearless is being able to feel whatever fear you feel and be bold anyway and step up for you. This is a time of growth. This is a time of renewal, but it's also a time where we might feel shaky. We might feel some emotions. There's rumors happening right now. Maybe you're locking your door. Maybe you're looking out the window. There's lots of stuff going on right now. But there's also some amazing stuff that you can't see. Just like the forest fire. Canopies being burned open so new sunlight can get through. Dead undergrowth is being burned away. The nutrients go back into the soil. And I want you to be a fireweed. I'm going to share with you what this means. Hi, Carrie. What is a fireweed? So a fireweed is what grows when you look at a devastated destruction of a forest fire that rips through, and you see the bare ground, you see ash. There's a special plant that grows. It's called a fireweed. And that fireweed busts up through the ash and grows as if to make way for the rest of the vegetation. The fireweed has a short lifespan. You see, the fireweed, after it grows, it dies and provides nutrients back into the soil, and its seeds, its future seeds, will lay dormant for years until the next forest fire. Everything has a purpose. Everything has meaning. And as much as we feel this at a deep level right now, this is your call to step up for you. It's not a call to get lost in the news. It's not a call to blame. It's not a call to infuse your opinion on someone else. Everyone is going to show up with what's inside of them right now. I did the metaphor of the orange later. When people are squeezed, what's inside comes out. For some people, when what's inside comes out, it's going to be an opportunity for new things to be poured in. For other people, sadly, it won't. They will continue. But what you can do and I can do, we can continually choose to be a light. Not a perfect light, but a light. And that light can overcome darkness. And that light is being able to love. And that light is not being triggered by someone else's comment. That light is going deeper. Let me understand why you said that. Let me understand how you feel. Let me understand where you're coming from. Let me understand. Let me understand. Let me understand, because I don't understand. And to the degree that I can seek to understand, I may never fully understand because I didn't walk in your shoes. But the fact that I seek to understand, void of my own agenda, makes me incredibly powerful, and it'll make you incredibly powerful too. And that's where love comes from. There's a narrative playing out right now. It's the forest fire that's bursting onto the scene, devastating everything in its path, destruction everywhere. But what's inside, when you're squeezed, can't help but come out. So if what's coming out of you right now is not good, it's time to pour some new things in. It's time to make way for new growth. It's time to plant some new seed. It's time to be a fireweed. It's time to maybe do things that you haven't done before. It's time to put your trust in yourself and your creator, and not in an institution and not in an individual. It's time. The individual and the institution are going to ride their path. And you and I have little to no impact on it other than a vote. But we can get out and we can be activists in our own lives. We can be activists in our community, because one of the things that's lost right now is a sense of community, a sense of kinship, a sense of I can lock arms with my brother and sister and we can go through together. Because if you study, it says it takes a village to raise a child. That's an old African proverb. It takes a village to raise a child, but the village is not there. The village is missing. The village is broken down. Community is broken down. Parents are working too much. Kids are in front of video games. Broken homes. See, there's something deeper going on here. It's something deeper going on here. And I'm not going to get too deep, but what I want you to do, I want you to step up, and I want you to think about the forest fire, and I want you to think about what can you do? How will you show up in the middle of this? And if you're feeling uncertainty, and if you're feeling doubt, and you're feeling some fear, it's okay. Now what? Because that's just an emotion. It's going to come in, you're going to feel it, and then you can take a step. And then you can take another step. And then you can take another step. And ultimately, you can start to create new growth, because we don't know how long this is going to go. We don't know how long the fire is going to burn. We don't know how much growth is going to be cleared away. But be the one who's ready to grow. Set yourself up now and just prepare. Because you might be going through that uncertain time right now. You might be dealing with a transition. You might be going through that. But this is a great metaphor to learn. It's a great metaphor knowing that you will get to the other side of this. You will get to the other side of this. No matter where you are, no matter how uncertain things seem, no matter how unshaky they are, You will get to the other side of this. Grab a hold of a community. If you don't have one right now, grab a hold of one. Thanks, Nicole. We are waking up. We are waking up. Whew. You know, and maybe you never went to sleep. Maybe you've already been up, but you're getting new distinctions. You have a new awareness. Like Einstein said, once a mind is changed, it can never go back to its previous form. Once a society is changed, it can never go back to its previous version. So once we cycle out all of the bad, once we cycle out the fire, we can make way for new growth. Some things are going to die, some old ideologies, some old ways of living, some old ways of believing are going to die. And for many of us, this is a call back to our spirituality. For many of us, this is a call back to our relationships. For many of us, this is a call back to our passion and what we really want to do with our life, because life is short. We all can create, we all know of a story of life cut short. And right now, some lives are cut short. The dreams, the visions, the hopes that were never fulfilled, maybe even never acted on. It's time for all of us to step up. The forest fire. When the fire rages, it creates a patchwork pattern in the forest. It burns off the top canopy so new sunlight can get in. It clears the clutter out of the way, and the nutrients from the plant material goes back into the soil to add nutrients to the soil. And once the forest fire goes away, in the redwood forest, it allows new growth for the redwoods. And the fireweed begins to grow and allows new vegetation to follow, only so its seeds can go back in the soil and prepare for the next forest fire. When you see the fire, when you see the craziness, when you're tested, there's something bigger happening. You don't have to figure it all out. You just need to get to the other side. Shake, feel, cry, scream, pray, meditate, do whatever you need to do to take care of you and your family and get on the other side better than the way you came into it. My name's Austin Haynes. I'm your breakthrough strategist, and I want you to break through in your life. And there's no better time to break through than in the middle of the most testing times that we could imagine. So on June 17th, it's a Wednesday, my team and I, with Emergency Life Coach, are going to do a 24-hour live broadcast because we want to reach the community. We want to reach the people that want to step up, because even the strong people need support. It takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a village even when we're adults to deal with life situations. So on June 17th, we're going to do a 24-hour live broadcast. I'm going to have myself on there with some great heart-centered life coaches, and we are going to pour it out there. We're going to be there for you in the middle of this pandemic and in the middle of this whatever else is going on, that we'll know the truth. We'll know everything that's going to cycle out when it cycles out in the right time. There's just some things that need to happen, and sometimes things get uglier before they get better. Be the light. Be the sun that shines through the canopy after it burns away. Be the fireweed. And there's my 9:19 timer telling me I need to recap my day and see what happened today. So it's a perfect note to end on. God bless you. I love you. I'm praying for you and your family. I'm praying for this time that what needs to happen happens quickly, and we can get to the other side of this and get on. Have a great night, everyone.